Okay, so I'm prepping the garbanzo beans or chickpeas to go ahead and dry, and I just wanted to, I wasn't sure if I should like take the shell off or leave the shell on, but after I rinse them thoroughly, the shell comes off really easy by just rubbing my hand, like my fingers together. So since they were coming out so easy, I'm just doing that. Frankly, I don't think you have to do it to all of them, so I'm just, but this would be a really good recipe to try with kids, because I think that little kids would, at least for the first little bit here, enjoy, oh, we had a jumper, enjoy helping you take the shells off if that's something that you prefer. The last recipe I tried with chickpeas or garbanzo beans, I found that I liked it better without the shell on, or the little skin piece on, and the reason being is that I had to mash it up, and that this kind of made it a weird texture, whereas if I had the chickpeas by themselves, they probably would have mashed together a lot smoother. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up and then get them drying. Thanks. Okay, so I have all of the chickpeas with the, I said shell, but it's more like a skin or an outside covering, all de-shelled or de-skinned, or however you want to phrase that. And then I just am laying them out on a kitchen towel. I have my drying rack laid out above my sink just so that there's air on the bottom and the top. And then I'm going to cover them so nothing gets on them, and just let them sit here and kind of get all that moisture out. This is a kitchen towel that my grandmother made for me. She embroidered this cute little pretty lady on there with some roses. So yeah, so while this is going, you can go around, do other things, and then we'll check back in about 20 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 20 to 25 minutes, so now we are going to take the chickpeas and place them in a bowl. I really hope this works, because they already kind of have like a nutty flavor, so I think that they'll be pretty tasty. Alright, so once they're in the bowl, we're going to transfer them over. I already have a baking sheet lined with some parchment paper. And now we're just going to take a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to drizzle that right over top of them. About actually I'm doing 1 tablespoon. The recipe that I'm using calls for 2, but I only used 1 can of the garbanzo beans, so I'm only going to use 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And then I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of salt. Now, I prefer kosher salt, but I just have some sea salt, so I'll just go ahead and do that and mix them around, get them all nice and well coated. Perfect. And then we already have our oven preheated to 450. And we're going to go ahead and transfer this then over to the pan with the baking sheet. And you want to make sure that they're all in a single layer so that they all roast evenly. And that looks pretty good. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and place that in the oven for about 20 minutes. And we'll see you back after those are ready to come out. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes. I thought I set a timer and it didn't set or something. So they look pretty golden brown to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull them out of the oven. They look delicious. And then I went ahead and took about a quarter of a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of dried dill, actually did a full teaspoon of garlic powder, and I still need to add some pepper. I didn't have any onion powder, which is what the recipe calls for, so I just took some garlic and herb seasoning and I added a little bit of that because I know it has some of the, sorry, did I say garlic? I don't have any onion powder, so I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper in there. Okay, and then I'm going to mix it all around. I like using a whisk. Whisk it to whisk it. Just because it helps incorporate the dry herbs a little bit better. And so, there we go. So now, I think I'm just gonna sprinkle this over them. Alright, and I'll let you know once they cool down how they taste. So here they are, folks, the finished product. These are the chickpeas. I used the ranch seasoning, and they're completely cooled and dried, so let's try some. Oh my god. I really like that. They actually kind of taste like, because of the ranch seasoning, they almost taste like croutons. Like the seasoned croutons. Now there are some that I can tell some didn't get cooked as long as the other ones. But when they're crunchy and really good like that, sorry, when they're crunchy, they're really good like that. I'm really excited for this because they almost kind of also taste like corn nuts a little bit. But these are a very healthy, low processed snack. And you can season it with a whole bunch of stuff. I'll put a link below to where I got my seasoning option. And it's again another one that you control the salt that you can put, or you control the salt that you put on it. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend them. They are delicious. So give it a try. Let me know what you think.